The sirens don't mean what you think they mean. They're not telling you where to go. They're telling you something already went wrong. Your phone buzzes. Alerts stack on the screen. Missile warning, grid instability, emergency broadcast. Then the signal drops. The bars disappear. And the quiet that follows isn't peace. It's systems failing all at once. World War III doesn't kill most people with explosions. Missiles destroy cities, yes, but the real death toll comes later. When the infrastructure that keeps you alive simply stops working. You're not a soldier, you're a normal person. And that's exactly why you're in danger. The first mistake happens immediately. You freeze, not physically, mentally. You refresh the news. You check social media. You wait for instructions. The government will say something. Emergency services will organize something. Someone will explain what to do. But modern cities run on just-in-time systems. Power grids balanced to the second. Water pumped by electricity. Food delivered daily by trucks that burn fuel stored in depots, connected to the same vulnerable infrastructure. When war hits those systems, the collapse doesn't look dramatic. It looks like inconvenience. The lights flicker. The internet slows. Traffic lights go dark. People shrug. They assume it'll be fixed. And that assumption kills them. Because once the grid fails, time starts running against you in ways most people don't understand. Water is the first invisible killer, not thirst. Contamination. Your tap still runs for a few hours, maybe a day. The pressure in the system pushes remaining water through the pipes, but treatment plants need electricity. Pumps stop, chlorine systems fail, pressure drops. That's when dirty water starts leaking into the system through cracks and joints underground. You drink it because it looks normal. 2 days later, the vomiting starts. Diarrhea drains water from your body faster than thirst ever could. In a world without hospitals, dehydration becomes lethal shock. Entire populations throughout history have died this way. Not from bombs, but from microbes in water they trusted. The solution isn't complicated, but it requires acting before everyone else realizes the danger. Fill containers immediately while pressure still exists. Bathtubs, pots, bottles, anything that holds water. After that, assume every drop is contaminated unless you purify it. Boiling works. So does bleach. 2 drops of plain household bleach per liter of clear water. Stir. Wait 30 minutes. If you don't do this early, you'll be competing with millions of desperate people later. And desperation turns ordinary situations violent. Food comes next, not because people starve quickly, but because supply chains collapse instantly. Your grocery store looks full the first day, maybe even the second, but nothing is being restocked. Trucks aren't arriving. Warehouses are offline. Fuel distribution stops. When the shelves empty, the real danger isn't hunger. It's crowds. Crowds under stress become irrational organisms. Panic spreads faster than logic. Someone shouts. Someone grabs more than their share. Someone else decides force is the solution. Normal people die in those moments because they underestimate how quickly order disappears. The smartest survival move isn't fighting for food. It's avoiding the fight entirely. Take what you can early, quietly, and leave crowded areas. Rice, canned goods, peanut butter, anything calorie-dense that lasts. Calories are survival currency now, because the third killer arrives silently at night. Temperature. War doesn't pause the weather. If the grid fails during winter, heating systems stop. Natural gas lines lose pressure. Electric heaters become useless metal boxes. Apartments and houses start cooling toward the outdoor temperature. Hypothermia doesn't feel like freezing to death. At first, you just feel tired. Then, your judgment slips. You stop caring about staying warm. People in hypothermia often remove layers of clothing because their brains misinterpret nerve signals. That's why many victims are found strangely undressed. The way you survive cold in a powerless world is simple physics, insulation, and body heat. Choose the smallest room in your home. Close doors. Block windows with blankets or cardboard. Create a microenvironment your body can warm. Layer clothing loosely, so air gets trapped between layers. Air is insulation, and never sleep directly on the floor. Cold surfaces drain heat through conduction faster than cold air ever will. People die in their homes during winter blackouts, not because the cold is unstoppable, but because they try to heat entire spaces instead of conserving their own heat. The most dangerous threat in World War III isn't water, hunger, or cold. It's human psychology, specifically denial. Normal people don't want to believe their world has changed permanently, so they behave as if the system will come back tomorrow. They wait. They conserve supplies for later. They delay difficult decisions. And while they wait, the environment around them becomes more hostile every day. Fuel runs out. Sanitation systems fail. Trash piles up. Disease spreads. Local crime increases as survival instincts override social rules. The people who survive aren't the strongest or the most heavily armed. They're the ones who adapt fastest. They accept the new reality early. That might mean leaving a city before infrastructure completely collapses. It might mean forming small cooperative groups with neighbors for security and resource sharing. Humans survive better in tribes than alone. Isolation is dangerous, not just physically, mentally. Stress, fear, and sleep deprivation destroy decision-making. People make catastrophic mistakes when their brains are overloaded. You counter that by creating routine, simple tasks, water collection, food preparation, security checks. Even in chaos, routine stabilizes your thinking, because in prolonged crises, survival becomes a psychological endurance test more than a physical one. And the people who fail that test rarely realize it's happening. They take unnecessary risks. They wander too far searching for supplies. They trust the wrong strangers. They ignore early symptoms of illness until it's too late. War doesn't need to find you with a missile. It just needs to remove the systems that kept you alive. Water purification plants, power grids, supply chains, hospitals, communication networks. Once those disappear, survival returns to something humanity hasn't experienced at scale for generations. Raw, personal responsibility for staying alive. And that's why normal people die in World War III. Not because they're weak, but because they're unprepared for how quickly civilization can stop working. If that day ever comes, remember this. Move early, secure water first, avoid crowds, protect your body heat, and accept reality faster than the people around you. Because in a collapsing system, hesitation is just another way to die.